Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven development video. I'm still recording on February 23rd. I think this is my last video of the day though. And what we're doing is we are trying to hook up the new rendering in valid dollars and invalid dollars to the actual table. So we've implemented the support for telling saying what the classes are inside of the table, which means that next, if I follow this correctly, next we need to set the default renderer for the table. Now, how to test this is something I'm not 100% sure of. I mean, I could check to see that the default renderer is correct, but I'm not sure if that's how I want it to work. What I really care about is that this is rendering properly. Let's take a look. It's been a while since I've been in this code, so I'm going to take a moment to look at this. Okay, looking at this, it's actually working completely independently of the underlying model, which is cool. But that does mean that the way to deal with what we're trying to do here is we actually do want to just say that the table should use a custom renderer for dollars. And this feels weird. I mean, the whole thing has been weird. I know I've been saying that it's going to be okay that we're doing the rendering inside of valid dollars and invalid dollars, but there is a weird component to it, and it may still turn out that that was a bad idea. I think what I want to do, because I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out, I think I want to go ahead and do the spike now. So that's, I've got this. I'm going to go ahead and just try to bring the spike code into the production code, just as a spike without actually writing tests around it, because I don't know how to make it work just yet. And we'll see what happens. We'll bring that renderer piece over as well. I've done this before. This is a technique I'll use. It's really hard to write tests around something you don't understand. So if I don't understand it, I'll spike it. Often I'll do that spike independently, as I did with this icon and table spike. But in this case, I'm trying to understand how it's going to hook into the actual production code. So that's requiring me to do it here. So we're going to want to create a new default cell renderer. Let's press that. For set value, oh, this is going to be really weird. Let's do this. If it's not an instance of, well, we just cast it to dollars. So dollars equals and then we can say dollars to render this. Should just be that simple. Now that render method doesn't exist. But only because I don't have the abstract method. Now it does exist, and I think that will work. All the tests should pass. I haven't changed anything that would cause that to break. I don't have any tests working right now, but now if I go in here, what's going to happen? Well, a whole lot of nothing. That was disappointing. What happens if I do that? Oh, well, there's the problem right there. I've got spike dollars instead of dollars. I'm not even sure why that worked. Probably when I cut and paste, it brought over the import. Okay, so yes. There we go. There's our renderer happening, which means that when I bring in the real renderer, it should now work. Ah, look at that. That's awesome. I love it. And if it doesn't work, we'll see stars. Yeah. That, of course, will be not a star, but a little circle with an exclamation mark in it. But still, that's very, very cool. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So, yeah. Wow. That's great. That's really great. Okay. So what I need to do now is I need to figure out how I'm going to test this. And I want to do that without actually requiring dollars to be hooked in. So, yeah, how am I going to do that? Well, I don't know. Guess I'm going to pause the video and think about it, and I will get back to you. Okay, I'm back. So I had a chance to think about this while I was putting my kids to bed, and I think that what I need to do here is I want what it uses as a custom renderer isn't really important. What we want, though, is we want the table should what we have here is it's not so much about the dollars, it's that dollars can self-render. I think that's really what we have here, is the idea, the concept of something that is self-rendering. So what I want to see happen is table should have self-renderable objects render themselves. See what I'm getting at here? And what that means is that self-renderable would now be an interface. In fact, I might as well go ahead and create that interface because it's easy to do. Let's see, yes. It's going to be self-renderable. And it's going to have a single method in it, this one. And that should still all work. Oh, it didn't though. Right. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that that was going to run. And now, inside a forecast table, or rather, inside of the stock market table model, these are all just self-renderable. Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, let's cast this to being self-renderable. cast this to being self-renderable. Rename this to be renderable. And this self-renderable. I don't know if that's going to work. Well, it looks like it is. No, it's not. We have to go in here and make all these self-renderable as well. Wow, okay. That did not work the way I hoped it would. Not by a long shot. Oh, you know what I forgot? Yeah. That was fairly important. And if I'd run the test, I would have caught it, because that fancy piece of code I wrote. There we go. Okay. So yeah, all I've done is I've extracted out the self-renderable interface. The fact that this has to all be self-renderable is a little bit iffy, to be honest. But yeah, we might need to take a second look at that. Let me go ahead and bring up our Scratchpad. Say, take a second look at all right, but setting that aside for the moment, what this means now is that we're now decoupled from the dollars. So it's possible for us to create a model that has self-renderable objects in it without using dollars, which means that what we can do is we can test the behavior of forecast table without having any dependency on dollars, which is what I really wanted. So I want to do something like say that we need a default table model, like so. And then I want to say that the table model, but what we're going to add to this is something that's self-renderable. I don't know if I'm going to get this done by the end of the video. And the self-renderable will be just a new self-renderable. And it will say label.setText to I am self-renderable. I rendered myself. And now what I'm hoping is that we'll be able to assert that we see that. So we're going to add this to the table. We'll tell the table model that the looks like we can't set the column class in here. So what we'll do is we'll say table.getColumns How did we do that over here? Table.getColumnModel.getColumn1. And then set cell renderer. Well, we're going to have to stop there. So this is where we'll pick up next time. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll catch you next time.